Welcome back. I should say welcome back to Legacy of Solaris, where today we are playing E123 Omega's story. Can't say I'm looking forward to this. Omega's story. So normally for the Amigo stories, I don't practice beforehand. But while the Rouge video was rendering yesterday, I was just like, fuck it. I'm going to go ahead and go through this story. This, no sugarcoating, is the low point of Legacy of Solaris for me. I do not like Omega's story at all. These stages are really long. There are a lot of them, and they're just like really slow paced. So I'm really sad that Omega kind of got the shaft because he's one of my favorite Sonic characters, but I hope you guys find value in it, and I will try to remain as positive as possible, pointing out all of the good things, because there are good points, but for the most part, it's pretty... Ugh. Let's go ahead and get started here with Omega's story. Starting off in Tropical Jungle, we are jumping in right where Omega needs to meet Rouge in order to go to the future and save Shadow from Mephiles. Even though Shadow easily beat up Mephiles in the first phase of the Mephiles boss fight, but whatever. Talking a little bit about Omega's moveset, I want to talk about first that I have 2 extra patches on top of Legacy of Solaris enabled to allow me to do Omega's P Shooter Blast, which is holding X and releasing it, that multi-targets on a bunch of different enemies and does damage to them. I have a patch enabled that allows me to move while doing that move, and additionally, I have another patch enabled that allows me to do the air shot, which is just pressing the X button in the air. Fires a little blast that destroys enemies. I also have it to where you can move during the air shot as well. Normally, that's not something that's part of Omega's moveset normally in Sonic 06 Legacy of Solaris, but I decided to add them because they just add to the gameplay flow a lot more. Additionally, we need to be careful because while a really cool thing is that Omega's unused hover animation was restored in Legacy of Solaris, we actually do have limited hover. That was changed. Anyone who's played Retail 06 know how absolutely broken Omega is in that game, as you can literally just feather the A button and he has an infinite hover, so you can just fly over stages if you so desired. But that is not the case in Legacy of Solaris. We do have to worry about that. Now, if you do have the air shot patch enabled that allows you to move with the air shot, you can still fly infinitely, but at most I will be using it as an assist more than like just trying to bypass a bunch of stages. But hopping into Tropical Jungle here, it's pretty interesting going through the stage with, you know, a character that can't completely break it via gliding or having just an insane hover ability and stuff like that. The Ruins section is one of my favorite sections in Sonic 06. I really like the music, I like the level design that usually comes with it, and the stuff that the Lost Legacy team. I will say that Omega's story is mostly, if not entirely, Jotaro. As we get into Shadow, as I talked about kind of with Rouge, and as we get into Shadow's extra stages and Omega's story here, most of those things were done by Jotaro. Omega just being so big that he clips the top of the results screen. That's hilarious. How many stages does Omega have? He has 5 stages and then 4 extra stages and 3 boss fights. It's a big story. It is a big story. He's a pretty stationary character then normally. Yeah, Omega is fun in Retail 06 because the hover completely breaks his stages. However, in 06 Legacy of Solaris, since the hover is been restored, adding the patches that allow you to use his like combat actions while moving are kind of essential to keeping the gameplay flow, if I'm going to be honest. I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to ask Fen or Jotaro if Omega, because Omega's actually the fastest character in Retail 06. He was faster than Sonic. I don't know by how many speed units. I think it might have been honestly just 1 speed unit, but he was faster. I don't know if they kept Omega's max speed or if they slowed Omega down to Sonic speed. Like how the rest of the characters were up to Sonic's top speed. I'm not entirely sure if Omega got that treatment as well, but regardless, here's a lot of what we are going to be doing in Omega's story is we're going to have many combat encounters, and we're just going to be firing air shots that keep missing this guy for some reason, and using the P shooter to destroy enemies in order to unlock the path forward. Unfortunately, because of how Omega is as a character, this is kind of the only way you can challenge him and utilize most of his abilities other than hovering and all that kind of stuff. But your cats like the Stomo show? That's awesome, Ray. How you doing, man? Happy Thursday to you. But yeah, so we're just gonna hop into Omega's story here and blow a bunch of shit up is basically what we're doing. Yo, what's up, Vex? How you doing? I keep thinking the hero's attack animation is gonna play instead of the blast. No, Omega's got the shotgun blast here in Sonic 06. The melee attack is reserved for Sonic heroes. What's up, Dalen? How you doing? Welcome to the stream, dude. Happy Thursday to you. Float and shoot to win? Essentially. Now, you may be like, Stelmo, I thought you said the story was long. Don't worry, we're getting there. Tropical Jungle and Crisis City give you a false sense of security.
Perfect mission.
I'm kind of curious because as you can kind of tell through all these parts is the Amigo stories are very are weighted very differently. Like Amy only has 3 normal stages she goes through, while Omega here has 5 and Blaze has 7. Rouge and Knuckles also have 7, and I think Tails has 7 as well. I mean, it's kind of cool that they all have a different amount of stages, but I don't know. It's kind of weird. I guess maybe Jotaro just had more ideas for Omega than he did for, like, Tails or something like that. Doing pretty solid at the moment. Good to hear, man. Now, here's the thing with Flame Core. Now, Omega, as I should talk about, Omega is the final of the 3 characters that were in Team Attack Amigo, which was DLC that added stages for Tails, Blaze, and Omega here to go through. But we aren't going to be seeing any of his Team Attack Amigo stages in his normal story. All of the stages, as far as I know, are custom in the main story, and we'll be seeing the Team Attack Amigo stuff as we get into the extra stages. In fact, there's actually one part of Team Attack Amigo that isn't in Legacy of Solaris, which honestly kind of surprises me. Didn't want to miss the stream? Well, hello, how you doing? This is gonna be hilarious if I, you know, started this off as like Omega is gonna be really a really long playthrough and I'm just gonna totally own because I practiced this one. I don't think that's going to happen just because the combat encounters are still the same combat encounters that were during my test playthrough, but we'll see what happens. I guess Rouge lured me into a false sense of security with how long some of these Amigo stages were going to be for Shadow's characters here, for Shadow's Amigos here. One move that I didn't talk about is when you are on the ground and you press the X button, you do a shotgun blast, which can actually be really useful. The range on it is pretty similar to Silver's, like, Psycho Smash, which is the bitch slap if you don't know what the actual name of the move is called. But it can be pretty good if you're able to kind of figure out the range and understand the spacing between enemies and such here. Using that mobile air shot just to do this. Remember 06 Vanilla was so pretty? 06 Vanilla, like, it's pretty good graphics-wise. Like, 06, I would say, is right on par with other Xbox 360, like, early Xbox 360 games. All right, we should be able to feather the button here if the camera volumes don't mess me up too much before we run out of hover. Very nice. Even though there is limited hover, you can do the same type of thing like you can with Silver, where you can kind of just tap the button and not use up as much of your hover. But hey, there we go. Right through Section 1 of Flame Core. Very nice. Pimp Shotgun Blast. That's more like it. So here we go. Flame Core Section 2. This is where Omega's kind of gimmick rears its ugly head. We do have the leader mechanic, which I try to mention in every Legacy of Solaris video. Was something that was in Retail 06 and started in Sonic Heroes, where there is a enemy in an enemy formation. Sometimes there is an enemy that's considered the leader of that formation. You defeat that one specific enemy and all the rest of the enemies die, which is really nice and kind of a cool way to reward people for looking at the enemy formations and being diligent on which ones look like the toughest enemies or which one stands out from the rest of the crowd, as that's usually the leader. I think we're actually going this way. Let's see if I defeat this guy, if it opens the door here. Yep, very nice. We actually get to go through Silver's section of Flame Core here. Silver's unique section, I should say. Go ahead and do some shotgun blast. The shot, or the pea shooter, which is what I call it. I think it's called the Omega launcher or something. The longer you hold it, the more enemies that it can target. There's no aiming reticle or anything. You just kind of have to hope. But the range in Legacy of Solaris for the pea shooter here is actually ridiculous. Like, if a particular enemy group is giving you trouble, you can go back quite a distance and the pea shooter will still take care of them, which is honestly pretty nice. Omega's jump is also just kind of insane. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's just a retail 06 thing, and I don't know if it's maybe just like his model or his hitbox or something, but Omega's jump is pretty damn ridiculous in Sonic 06. You get a lot of height off of it. I have 0 rings, so this is a little dangerous. Of course, we got a guarding enemy here. Very nice. Cause the platform to rise there. Omega's original 06 voice. Yeah. Omega's original 06 voice, I can't remember the actress, but she unfortunately has passed away. I'm pretty sure she voiced a pretty popular character, but I can't quite remember what character that was. It was in a kid's TV show, I think. But, like, the voice is fine, but they really went all in on kind of the roboticness of it rather than, you know, continuing her to sound human like Omega did in Heroes and Shadow the Hedgehog. It does sound like there might be some extra filters on the voice lines, though, that allow, that have it be a little bit lower, but that might just be placebo for me. From playing, you know, certain other Sonic 06 fan projects recently. Oh gosh. And there we go, Flame Core. That was a 5-minute stage. Yo, what's up, Super Crim? How you doing? I can't remember if I said hello already.
Perfect mission.
Sounds like someone's holding their nose and talking in a fan. That's a very interesting analogy. All right, so we finally played from Omega's perspective, and now we get to do Mephiles Phase 1 again. So this is the other character in Sonic 06 Legacy of Solaris. Amigo character, I should say, that has boss fights. We did see some boss fights with Blaze, but with Omega, he does have some boss fights in the regular game, like this one here. He's the only Amigo character, actually, that has just a natural vanilla boss fight against Mephiles here. We will be seeing some other boss fights as well, so don't worry if you're a fan of me jumping and shooting. Kind of like Mega Man here. There's going to be lots of other opportunities for us to do that stuff. So close to 10K, let's go. Thank you, Cookie. Appreciate you. Sonic Heroes average stage time. I would say that Sonic Heroes gameplay is quite a bit more fun than Omega's gameplay here, though. If we're just talking in the realm of Legacy of Solaris, like, it's fine. Omega plays fine. It's just unfortunate that kind of this is my least favorite part of the entire mod. Yo, what's up, Gamma Raw? How you doing? Jump and shoot, man. Oh, yeah. All right, so Wave Ocean here. We could do what Jotaro intends us to do here as he blocked that off so we can't bypass it, but we can, and you can do this. Oop, got some visual artifacts. Just press F4 to get rid of those. You can do this just with Omega's hover here if I go the right way and don't get locked against any invisible walls. Great Grandma loved the Flame Core Cavern OST. That's actually awesome. The Flame Core Cavern OST is my favorite song in the franchise. I will say it's pretty close. There are a lot of other great songs. Like, I should say that doesn't diminish the quality of other songs, but yeah, I love Flame Core the Cavern so much. It's very bluesy. It's kind of jazzy as well. At least from my understanding of musical genres. I'm sure there'll be some musically inclined person that'll be like, Stelmo, it's actually this genre, and I'll say, okay, you're right. It's just what I get from it, because I love blues, specifically blues rock, and Flame Core the Cavern just hits all the right notes for me. When it comes to that, no complaints here. That's good to hear, man. Glad everything's going somewhat well for you, at worst. Oh, that's right. Here in Wave Ocean, we have to actually defeat this group of enemies here. Unfortunately, even though that Iblis Worm looks like he stood out from the crowd, he is not a leader. It would have been cool if there were like maybe like sparkles or something. Like in the vanilla game, usually the character has a voice line or it's pretty freaking obvious what the leader is, so it's not too bad. But in Legacy of Solaris, considering how many enemy formations have the leader mechanic, I think it'd be kind of cool if they sparkled or something. So you could tell which one the leader was, like just a hint of it. But you can vibe to open your heart. Let's go. Who is the real 06 man? I don't know. Probably Darkspine Sonic if you're talking about real life people. Listening to a lot of Aquatic Bass, a full mix. Aquatic Bass is a great track. There's no bad track other than, in my opinion, Elise's theme and Sonic 06's soundtrack. It's all extremely good. Or the 06 developers have played these? I doubt they've played them. Wow, the shield is big around Omega. I mean, he is a big character, so it makes sense. If you haven't seen the other Legacy of Solaris parts, they reintroduced the shield. It was supposed to be in Retail 06, but was never fully implemented. So they fully implemented it here. You know, I guess practice kind of does make perfect, because I certainly did not go through the stages this quickly in practice. Yeah, I saw the shield in the manual. The manual also describes that Sonic's gems can be leveled up, which is not the case, even here in Legacy of Solaris. Let's see. Dusty Desert is up next. And I believe our final stage in Omega's main story here. Now, Dusty Desert was a stage that Omega went through, but I believe I might have this flipped, so, you know, we'll have an editor's note come in if I'm wrong. But if I'm right, I won't put an editor's note in. Or maybe I still will, I don't know. Whatever you decide to do, future Stubmo. But anyway, Dusty Desert, I believe this version of Dusty Desert is Jotaro's version. So, Team Attack Amigo, Omega went through White Acropolis and Dusty Desert. White Acropolis we will not be going through in his story. Or we won't be going through White Acropolis in his story, but we will be going through it in his extra stage. I misspoke earlier. There actually is a White Acropolis extra. I believe that is from Team Attack Amigo, and then the extra Dusty Desert is from Team Attack Amigo. However, this Dusty Desert is custom. Is Team Attack Amigo section? I'm pretty sure Omega goes through Section A, though, still. Amazon. In Team Attack Amigo. It's just not this version of Section A. Unless I'm wrong. I haven't played Team Attack Amigo in God knows how long. Probably like 15 years at minimum. I think Team Attack Amigo was 2007, so... Still baffled that there's DLC for this game. Made the jobs for stuff like Legacy of Solaris easier, though, giving us a bunch of extra stage variants to mix and match together. Alright, see a checkpoint down here. That Omega spin? Omega's always got the good spins. I always thought that Dusty Desert in Retail 06 was too bright. Like, I guess it's kind of like the sand is just a really flat texture. Except for sometimes, like on the dunes right here. I just never thought that Section 8 looked terribly good. Alright, here we go. I think if we destroy just this guy, we're good. But as you can see here, as I charge up the pea shooter, you can target so many enemies at once. It's kind of ridiculous. Experience with Shadow Story, LOS seems really cool. Legacy of Solaris is really cool. I highly recommend playing it. I don't think that Legacy of Solaris will change your mind if you just, like, extremely dislike the original game. But, like, for a person like me who, you know, is the typical internet Sonic 06 guy of I see the potential in this game, and Legacy of Solaris kind of fully realizing that potential that 06 had, and in addition to that, having, like, in addition to that, like, Legacy of Solaris being probably pretty close to what we would have gotten if if Sega was able to complete 06 in some sort of way, it probably, like, foundationally would have been a bit better, like better physics and that kind of stuff, which the mod manager does assist with in giving us some better physics. You know, all the characters being sped up, there being a little bit of weight to their movements, but not too much, homing attacks being better, all that kind of stuff. But it's kind of cool because this is probably what 06 would have been, you know, had there been more development time, less crazy stuff like the team splitting off and everything like that. Didn't mean to go into Chaos Boost, but I guess we can use a Chaos Blast just for fun. Completely overlooked the fact that we switched to Shadow here. I guess they wanted to kind of do the reverse since we played as Omega in Shadow's Dusty Desert. We're playing as Shadow in Omega's Dusty Desert. Pretty neat. Oh. I don't actually know how many enemies here we have to defeat, but guess we can use a couple Chaos Blasts if we so desire. Again, if you didn't see the Shadow part, I have disabled the Chaos attack for Shadow, which is like his 5-punch combo that he does in the air, because it's just faster to do this. So. Doo-doo. Sky, if you accidentally hit the period, like if you put a period in between like 2 words without any spaces, Twitch automatically thinks it's a link and thus deletes it. Even if it's not a link to a real website, Twitch like kind of plays it safe there and just assumes it's a link. We would have gotten if 06 had been finished. I definitely think it's a lot closer though. But also, what's up, Chaos? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Well, then I guess I can ask, what do you think we would have gotten? Because, of course, we had the planned Amigos stories, which Legacy of Solaris does. We got a whole bunch of different variations of stages, which you can kind of see with the hard mode and very hard mode that come from, the DLC. Well, I guess very hard was just the DLC. Do 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 do. I'm actually surprised we're zooming through Legacy of Omega's story pretty quickly here. Like I've said for the 5th time. Talk about redundant commentary. Based on found proper physics work plan. I did mention that. What I mean more, I guess just to clarify my point a bit, is I mean more content-wise. This is what we would have gotten. Like Amigos stories, a bunch of different variations of different stages and that kind of stuff. Like, foundationally, the game, I agree, would have been much better. Like, much, much better. It's just kind of like, I guess the mod manager can just only do so much without some sort of from the ground up reworking of the game. But hey, there we go. That was the final stage for Omega in his story. But there actually is one more boss fight we get to play as with him, at least story-wise. Alrighty. As you could have probably guessed, we are going to face off against Mephiles 2 here. Mephiles 2 works a little bit differently, of course, since we're not playing as Shadow. What we have to do with Omega here is we have to defeat these large goons that spawn out of the ground. Once they are out of the ground, it's basically the Mephiles 1 fight again. Pretty cool little capstone for Omega here at the end of his story. It's kind of neat. So we go ahead and defeat those 2 guys, and then Mephiles should be attackable here in a moment anyway. Come on. Oh, we're going to spawn another round of guys. Okay. Play it your way. Yo, thanks for the good luck, Rev. Appreciate you. Oh, the slowdown. Let's go. Okay. Man, I'm surprised. I didn't get any slowdown when I was testing this playthrough yesterday. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know what is worse. I mean, to be fair, when 06 came out, doing patches to video games wasn't really, like, I guess, a mainstream thing for companies to do. DLC was still like a fairly new thing. Yeah, it is. Mephiles, where'd you go? A really nice thing about this boss fight, and this also helps in Omega's like normal phase 1 boss fight against Mephiles, is that if you press LT, you center the camera behind the character, and since Mephiles flies around all the time, it's pretty useful to figure out where he is. I mean, the fact that there was even paid DLC for 06 was insane. Like, they were really just like, I guess we're gonna make more stages rather than fix the game. Okay. Alright, I think just one more hit on Mephiles, wherever he went to. Unfortunately, getting all these energy cores, but they have no real...
I am forever. I am invincible.
When it came out the same as Frontiers came out, it was a mostly golden finish game. You think Frontiers is that good, Chaos? It was insanely low effort for them? Oh, interesting. Yeah, I guess considering how easy it is to mod 06, it must have been pretty simple to create newer and newer stages. Alrighty, that was Omega's story, so now it's time to get into his extra stages. And while his story may have been a little short, we've got some extra stages to go through, and they are anything but short. So let's go ahead and get started here with our extra boss fight against the Egg Genesis. I was say, wow, Omega looking pretty cool here with his new titanium arms, I guess. Again, just a issue with playing on Xenia and the graphics cache, so just gotta do a quick F4 to fix that. Retail did have DLC. Retail, you could download boss rush mode for each of the 3 characters. I think it was actually separate for each character, like separate DLC for Sonic, Shadow, Silver boss rush. Then you could also get Team Attack Amigo, which, as I've stated before, were, I think it was 7 stages. 3 for Tails, 2 for Blaze, and 2 for Omega. Plus this Egg Genesis boss fight here is ripped straight from Team Attack Amigo with Omega. And then the very hard stages for each of the 3 hedgehogs were also DLC that you bought separately. I think they were like $2 each. They might have been $5. But yeah, Egg Genesis... Egg Genesis, stand underneath him and constantly use the pea shooter, and kind of just, yeah. It's pretty much all we're doing here. Oh yeah, that's right. You could get Xbox backgrounds and gamer pictures. I think I bought the Sonic one, actually. For a crudely unfinished product. And that's the funny thing, you say that, because back in 2006, that would have been a very shocking thing, but nowadays it's standard. You have all of them? Let's go, dude. Yo, what's up, Beats? How's it going, man? This is gameplay, for sure. Yeah, because it's definitely much more acceptable for games to get free updates that add more content and all sorts of stuff after launch nowadays. You basically just receive unfinished products and then get them patched. It was beyond salvation, but they were like, fuck it, maybe we'll get $5 from the people that like the game. Sonic 06 was almost 17 years ago. It's kind of crazy. Still a relevant topic today, too, when it comes to infamous video games. They got more than $5 from you, Rev. The very hard DLC, I believe, was $5. Yo, what's up, Adam? How you doing? Happy Thursday to you, man. And bop. On top of the 60 that 06 already costs. Engley spent $120. Oh gosh. Prime is out? That's awesome. I won't get the chance to watch Prime until like next week, but I'm really excited. But I got Red Ring of Death? Oh gosh. Dang.
Perfect mission.
Must have liked the game that much. Apple that 06 was relisted. I'm happy though because I can have it on my Xbox 360 for $5. Who knows? Maybe it's that same mentality. Here we go, Omega's Kingdom Valley. So this is one of the first extra stages. What I was talking about in terms of enemy waves really starts here. We're gonna be doing a lot of combat with Omega in these extra stages. Yeah, but like I was saying, maybe it was the same mentality. They were just like, you know what? Someone will probably buy this. And to be fair, someone did buy it. They had at least one customer that rebought 06, which was me. So, because I don't have a physical copy of the game anymore because my brother traded it in a long time ago. I don't know what you would have traded 06 in for. Black Ops 3 is really good. That's true, Chaos. That's true, man. But it's okay because it's still not widely available. Right? You still have to have an Xbox 360 to play the game. Kind of going through a little bit. I think this is sort of modeled after Silver's Kingdom Valley. A couple of Omega's extra stages are actually modeled after Silver's Silver stages here, this being one of them, like I just said. Oh my gosh. Not having the infinite hover really throws me for a loop sometimes. The thing is that it's kind of hard is that Omega's hover is kind of like Tails' flight, where you have no meter. You have literally zero indication of when you're gonna run out of hover, so you really have to be careful. And unlike Tails kind of having that fly falling state, where he descends a lot slower, Omega just drops, so. Yeah, the pigeon flapping. Probably in playtesting for Sonic 06, they must have removed the animation because everyone was just feathering the button to cheese everything with Omega, and they were like, yeah, that kind of looks ridiculous. Here we go with a custom eagle grab animation here. Created by Chaos, actually. No, Nightbot. Getting owned. It happens occasionally. Retail have DLC? Sonic fan, you've asked that like 4 times. I answered it last time. Like keep asking the question and then leaving. All right, here we go. It's a quick switch to Shadow here. We get to do this section the normal way this time. Because Shadow's Kingdom Valley, you go backwards. In Kingdom Valley Section 3 here. Or I guess I think this is B. This is Kingdom Valley B. And the section we started in was Kingdom Valley D. It's hard to keep them straight because with how Sonic 06 labeled the sections and stuff, they're lettered based on the way that Sonic goes through them, except for Kingdom Valley. So this is B, okay. I guess they made D and they ultimately decided, like, what's crazy to think about? Like, you know what's crazy to think about? I don't know. What's crazy to think about? Yeah, Sonic goes A, D, B, C. I guess they decided that B would be the better second section or something. I don't know. I guess Kingdom Valley probably was one of the first stages created, kind of like Crisis City, so. Kingdom Valley, if Kingdom Valley was like A... Kingdom Valley A, B, C, D would be very weird. Considering you do a Mach Speed section and then head into a final section where you play as a different character. All right, let's go. But yeah, as you can kind of tell, this is basically just Silver's Kingdom Valley, but we have Omega and Shadow versus Silver and Sonic. D is my favorite section for Sonic. I believe it. People really like how the Mach Speed section looks. Got a bit of variation here, though, from Silver's Kingdom Valley. Just got to head over to the Eagle. Because I was driving and didn't hear it answered. You shouldn't... don't interact with the chat while you're driving, Sonic fan. Just wait until you get to a place that's much safer. That's incredibly dangerous. Do not recommend. Want to use me as background noise? Then for sure. But like, don't type in chat while you're driving. It's a very dumb idea. Just taking a dip in the water. Oh yeah, gotta give you the scare. Well, this is the music for the Mach Speed section. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's like Water. Because Kingdom Valley and Crisis City are movements. They're not like separate tracks. One-up sound effect, spring sound effect, chaos drives, and like the blue energy cores are from 06 that were carried into the boost games. 06 is kind of the foundations for a lot of things compared to the rest of it. All right, there's Kingdom Valley. Next up, we got Dusty Desert. This Dusty Desert, Section B here is custom, which is pretty neato burrito. Love the use of the term movement. It fixed the Sonic OST so much. I mean, that's what it is. Like the Crisis City and Kingdom Valley tracks in the soundtrack have like our movements of one song versus like different sections. Because I believe they're the only ones in the soundtrack that behave like that. So I guess if you liked playing as Shadow in Dusty Desert again, here we are. It's kind of interesting doing like the extra stages and the regular stages all at once because sometimes they overlap, which is kind of interesting because when I initially saw that Legacy of Solaris had extra variations of stages, I figured all it was going to be is that every character would get the chance to go through every single stage. That's not the case for Rouge and Omega. There's a lot of duplicate stages and neither of them go through Radical Train, which is kind of interesting. I was like, that'd be the perfect opportunity. Just put them in Radical Train. We never get to see that. But I guess maybe there just weren't good ideas for Rouge and Omega and Radical Train. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why Water plays in Section B for Shadow and Silver. I guess they just thought it was more fitting for that, since that's their last section, but I don't know. Isn't that like one of the few instances where the music is flipped around in 06? I'm trying to remember other instances of it. Here we go with Rouge. We have a bit of a key hunt, but don't worry, it's not really that difficult. If you want more information on Rouge, I have an entire playthrough of her story, so. Happens in Crisis City as well. Chaos Blast is actually powerful here. Oh, absolutely. Chaos Blast is how Chaos Blast should have been in LOS. I think that's actually just a patch, so if you want to play Retail 06 with the new Chaos Blast, you can do that as well. The only thing that I guess is kind of hampered is that if you don't like some of the inherent changes that Legacy of Solaris has, I don't know if there's a way to get the DLC installed on Xenia without having Legacy of Solaris. I'm sure there's maybe a mod or a patch that adds the extra content, but like if you just wanted to play. Oh, there is? Okay. Well, then never mind. Kind of like the Unleashed thing, I guess. But yeah, as you can see here, the extra stages for Omega are just gauntlet after gauntlet after gauntlet of enemy waves. Kind of prone to crashing. Oh, interesting. Having the DLC is worth some changes. What do you mean, Sky? Means absolutely nothing. I think you maybe do double damage against the robot when its weak point is exposed. The egg walker, I think, is what you're talking about. I don't remember if these guys are egg walkers or if it's the other guys. These guys. One of them's the egg walker and one of them's something else. I'm sure the 06 aficionados in chat will correct me on that. Oh my gosh. It's just much more content that having the content far outweighs the changes. Well, at least for me, I think that all of the changes that Legacy of Solaris makes inherently is are only positive. Like, there's no negative change. I guess you could consider, you know, if you really liked hovering infinitely with Omega, you could consider Omega's hover nerf a bad change. But I don't think so. I think that all the changes in Legacy of Solaris are only positive. I just added on more patches just because basically all of the patches that I added on top of what Legacy of Solaris has enabled by default just increase the flow of the game. Like, obviously, the mobile air shots and pea shooters with Omega here, and then, like, with Sonic not bonking against walls with the blue gem. Now, Omega's a pretty lackluster character when you take his brokenness away, for sure. Rev, I guess since you're here now, actually, how much faster was Omega than Sonic in Retail 06? Like, was he like 1 speed unit faster, or was he like much faster? Omega has a movement value of 21? Oh my god. Doesn't Sonic only have a value of... Sonic has 19. Wait, so does Shadow have 15? If, because I remember Fen saying that Shadow had 15. I thought he was only 1 unit slower than Shadow, not 3. Or 4, actually. All right, here we go. Dusty Desert A. This is Team Attack Amigos Dusty Desert here. Sonic had 17. Shadow had 16. Okay, so I was 1 off. Does Blaze share the same amount as well? I can't believe I was incorrect. You're wrong. Your credibility is ruined forever. What's silver speed then? Silver speed's like 3. I don't think we're supposed to go that way. All right, I think we have to actually defeat these enemies here, and it's gonna spawn a spring that'll allow us to go that way. Something like that. Ah, portal. That's right. I'm curious then, what's Amy's speed? My guess is Amy's speed is 4. Amy and Silver are the same speed in retail? Yeah, I think platforms just rise out of the ground, but we got that mobile air shot, so why not use it? I guess we might as well just list all the characters at this point, Chaos, if you know. There we go, getting to use the Omega launcher to full effect here. Obliterating all of those enemies all at once. There's someone still alive? How are you still alive? Get him. Dude, so much for automatic homing. Jesus Christ, what's happening? Can I continue forward? Oh, you don't have to defeat those enemies, lol. That was sick. Oh yeah, when Legacy of Solaris is sick, it's pretty sick. And getting to just blast all those enemies in one hit is honestly pretty fun. But as you can see, yeah, it's just kind of a bunch of combat. I like it more than Knuckles. I will say Knuckles is more fun to utilize because he has the glide and climbing and stuff, but like in terms of combat, Omega is superior to Knuckles. Mainly because you have to think less. Okay. Cool. I would say this is probably Omega's longest stage. We've been in here for 9 minutes. Jesus. I think we're near the end, though. Oh no, my ears are playing tricks on me, but we may hear the goal ring. Actually, no, I think the goal ring spawns after this enemy wave. Average retail silver time? Yeah, unless it's your first time on the ball puzzle. Then that's like 20 minutes. There we go. Finally done. With Omega's Dusty Desert here. God damn, that's a long stage. If you like Omega, there's certainly no shortage of him in Legacy of Solaris, that's for sure.
Good performance.
How silver stages are divided casually? Well, I mean, yeah, doesn't Telethrow kind of fix everything and make everything super quick in Silver Story? Oh, all right, getting some graphical mess ups here. Silver, or I almost said Silver's Crisis City. Omega's Crisis City Extra here. It's Silver's Crisis City. It is straight up, like, I think the enemy placement is different, but it's pretty much note for note Silver's Crisis City. We're gonna go through all 3 of the same sections here. I don't remember if we switch characters or not, but I don't know. Speedrunner crackheads, I can only do a few tricks. I don't know if ETDs, like how much do the ETDs really speed up Silver's gameplay though? Yeah, the shield, oh no! Dang. I shouldn't have gone for it. I was really excited because we hadn't died in Omega's story up until this point. Super unfortunate. Ow, thanks. Kind of cool that we get to see the nighttime skybox for Crisis City again, though. I don't know if any... Ah, yes, spring opens up. Let's go. Don't you clip through shit, though, with Silver and Aquatic Base? Every weekend he comes over just to use my PC to play. I mean, I can't say I definitely wasn't like that either, where I would go to some people's houses just to play the video game. So it's not entirely ETDs, it's ETDs and clipping. I was like, damn, you could do under a minute just with that shit, that'd be insane. Oh? Oh? Where are we? I don't know how I survived that. It's made gaming so much fun for me. PC. I will say I am part of the PC master race. All that I can think of now when it comes to game consoles is own the Nintendo console and then a gaming PC and you're set. Like having a PlayStation or Xbox Series is just like overlap for no reason pretty much. Unless there's like some sort of couch gaming that you want to do. I would imagine it's probably Rouge's Tropical Jungle, is it not? Oh. Or an exclusive, but At this point, like, they just do things now where things are exclusive for like a year. So. Like I said, this is literally just Silver's Crisis City, so I don't have a whole lot to say. With a bit of formation. Big shield, let's go. Gotta keep Omega safe. Keeping the Omega safe. Prior to having a PC? I mean, it's just my opinion on the internet. You can do whatever you want with your money. I just think that it's a waste to have, like, a PlayStation or an Xbox along with a gaming PC. Where the Omega lul's at? True. We are playing as Mr. Omega here, so. Is console right now, but aren't they? Just like the Final Fantasy VII Remake. You gotta wait for it, but you play it eventually. All right, White Acropolis with Omega. Team Attack Amigo. That's the wrong way. This one's actually kind of interesting. So what we do here in Section B is we actually loop around the climbing section that we climb through with Rouge and go through with Tails and Sonic Story. If you don't clip through the lasers, that is. And we have to destroy the searchlights in order to spawn a switch, which is kind of interesting. Who's not dead? There's benefits over PC sometimes. I will say there are benefits, but I mean, they're vastly outweighed, especially because a lot of those games have like a person, like there's a person that mods it to make it not bad anymore as well. I don't actually know if we have to destroy all the searchlights. I think I did on my test playthrough, but I think there just might be a particular trigger that you have to hit by going around this stage. Can't always rely on the trusty mods. You can't always rely on it. I don't know if there's a game out there though that would be like, I have to get other than a Nintendo game, because we all know how Nintendo works with their exclusives and stuff. But like, times is good when a game is good from the get-go. I say it's very good. In fact, it's preferred when the game is just good from the get-go. But the fact that there are alternatives, and if you have a PC, you have that option to make a game much better than it is. Like, I mean, I guess you can mod consoles. Wow! The barrage. Oh, of course, we're back at the beginning. Welcome to Omega's White Acropolis. Like, you get the most games. You get, oh, jeez. I don't want to get blasted again. Hold up. Invincibility frames! Let's go. Dude, you were meant to be good at the games, man. I have never once stated that I am good at video games. Never. I'd say I'm like fairly good at PO6, but other video games? No. Just not good. In one single install, literally, yeah. There's other stuff I use Pariah's notes, Chaos, Pariah's Sonic game recommendations, because better SA or the Dreamcast conversion mod doesn't have every single thing. You're good at the OG trilogy? I don't know, Gamera. I don't know. Yo, what's up, Excelsior SBO? Been a while since I've seen you. Welcome to the stream. I would have to look at the list again. I think it's exclamation mark best version if you want to look at Pariah's thing. I know the Dreamcast conversion mod is part of SADX, but I'm pretty sure there's some other stuff outside of Dreamcast conversion that make it better. I just can't remember what they are, because I haven't loaded up Sonic Adventure 1 in like 6 months. And even then, I loaded it up for footage. Oh, let's go, Wet Acropolis. Has every single mod for Sonic Adventure 1 is in the Dreamcast conversion mod?
Performance.
Everything. How's been the streams? They've been awesome, man. I've had a great time. All right, on to Omega's final extra stage, Aquatic Base. Man, I think this is actually going as long, if not longer already, than like some of the main Hedgehog stories. Not unrelated mods, of course. Which is every issue with SADX. That's good. Well, I'll keep that in mind next time I play it. Any more enemies? There are not. Like the little alarm addition to Aquatic Base. I feel like it makes a lot of sense, especially in the normal stories. Oh gosh. Why can't Sega just make good remakes? Because that takes time and effort, which they don't have either of. Because Sonic is a horribly, horribly mishandled series. I have to defeat these guys? Recommendation. Sonic fan, if you want to, !best version. It's a link to Pariah's Sonic game spreadsheet and all the instructions to install like better SADX and like the mod load order and stuff are on there. Oh my god, please. I have 0 rings. Not anymore though. Do 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 do. That last dash ring really throws you for a loop there. Even though it's facing forward, it launches you upward. Just like make good products, dude. Like make something good. Oh, okay. Let me get right on that. That's like saying just get a 4.0 GPA. Still my favorite OST? Yeah, no, it's good. For sure. I like Aquatic Base A more than Aquatic Base B, but I prefer Silent Dreams' remix of Aquatic Base B over Aquatic Base A. Come on. Thank you. Bribe your teacher with Starbucks? Dude, that's guaranteed to do it. Yeah, dude, just like be good. Oh, okay. Or B nor A, just the full picture? No, I get you. I'm talking about my own preferences as well, since it is my stream, and I would hedge to guess that people who come and tune into my stream like to hear my opinions on things. I think I forgot to hit the switch here. There we go. Bring my teacher to McDonald's just to get in good graces? Let's go, man. Yeah, I mean, it's all about the principle of reciprocity, right? Unless you get that one teacher that doesn't like McDonald's and you're like, fuck. Okay. I think there's spring here. Yep. Best believe that was always the thing. I believe it. No, streamer, you can't talk on your own stream. You can't tell me what to do. I also don't know why that door is backwards there for whatever reason. I guess they used Sonic's layout maybe, or Shadow's layout instead of Silver. Follow Pariah's content? Yeah, Pariah comes in here all the time. Thanks for the recommendation. We've become, I would say, good acquaintances because of you, so I appreciate it. He asked you to pass him some? Yeah, I don't know, man. The thing is it's so tough being a teacher because, like, especially, honestly, even when you're in high school level, it's like, there's always an element of babysitting to it. I recommend uninstalling it. Genius, Chaos. I mean, Sonic Adventure 1 isn't really that much better. Here's my take, is that I would rather play the entirety of SA2 than the entirety of SA1. Yeah, I used to want to be a teacher, and like, for the most part, like, you can just get, at least with the age group of kids that I worked with, like, when it came to teaching, majority of the time, all you have to do is call them out. Because, you know, they try to be, like, especially, like, boys and stuff, try to be the, you know, the cool kid and, you know, be cooler than the rest, and like, I don't give a fuck, I'm so awesome, blah, 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 and then you call them out, and they're like, oh, shit. Like, it's so easy, and I was that guy too when I was younger, like middle school, high school age. Is just like, you could be annoying and think you were hot shit, and then the adult goes, bro, just chill. Like, I know what you're doing. Like, that's the thing too, is all I would have to say is, I know what you're doing, and just stop. Like, you're not cool. You're just bringing down the experience for everybody, and then they would stop. That easy. Always made you feel like a dummy? Oh, yeah. I remember those days. Yeah, I was a pretty shitty kid. Not saying I'm a much better adult human being, but I like to think that I've at least changed. I don't know if it's for the better or for the worse, but I've changed since those days. School has betrayed me. Oh, no. Yeah, we definitely don't live in those days anymore, that's for sure. But anyway, that was Omega's story in Sonic 06 Legacy of Solaris. To be totally honest with you, we got through that way faster than I was expecting to. My test playthrough took me 2.5 hours. So the fact we got through it in, like, I think maybe an hour and 10 minutes was insane. So next time I see you guys, we will be doing Sonic's extra stages, which I'm really excited to get to because they're insanely creative. So thank you all so much for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.